The master shots were actually the hardest to implement because it was our first takes on everything, and it just took a while for everyone to kind of get in their roles and get into the swing of muscle memory and stuff like that. I wanted to add the pan or tilt of Jordan's character Austin in there to make him more comedic.
All right, Mary, you're goalie now. Nah, I like being a kicker actually. No, I want to be.
We started this and he was like, I'm a good blocker, not a good kicker.
Mary. Watch out. I just did. So.
Michael's reactions were the best, and I told them both they are my actual parents, and so I told them to just react as if they really would react to me bringing a guy home in high school or college. Jordan did a really great job portraying Austin. Jordan's personality works very well with Austin's. He's not as goofy with first impressions as Austin is.
Ready? Did you get it that time? Part of it. Didn't get it. Okay, you can go again. Okay, is everybody ready? Okay, great.
But he wasn't afraid to wear what he had to wear. He wasn't afraid to say and do what he had to say. And Jordan is actually a drummer in real life. So that whole thing was his idea to drum. And I just didn't know at first what to have him drum. But I had him drum when the Saints come marching in. Because I was like, everyone knows that. And it's not something that will, be added date. But it was, all the awkwardness was very real. It was very awkward. I think the dinner scene itself was a lot more fun.
Yeah.
If you hear this thing, he says hi. He's camera shy right now, but just you wait.
You don't take me down the road if you don't stop me out, right?
Alright. Okay. Oh, right. Alright. Hi, I'm Morgan DeRoja, and I am the writer and director of Dinner Date. As you can see, we are on set for our very first night of shooting. I am really excited and a little nervous because I'm also acting. This is Jordan. He is our main actor. He's going to portray Austin tonight. Mm-hmm. And how do you feel right now?
I'm not nervous. I think it's going to be super easy because Austin's personality is kind of mine exactly, so I think it'll be alright.
Awesome. Multiple takes just from minor things that we didn't really think of, including Austin flipping off his slides. We didn't really take into account of exactly everything because he hit the closet door a lot. There was one time where I did want to use this take, but it just didn't match up with the editing, where he flung them so far away that Bridget looked over and was like, wide-eyed, like, oh, okay, what just happened there? And there was one where he flung them so far that one of them hit the camera, not the camera, but the tripod, actually, hit the tripod.
You always fall. You trip and you fall into the plane.
Everything goes all over the dad.
Oh, he's completely
just like
covered in spaghetti.
Yeah.
Hey, I forgot about this.
Imagine how many takes you have to do that of throwing spaghetti at you. Oh,
Right.
I hope it lasts all day,
Oh, whoops, can we redo that? It's perfect. No, let's do this.
No. It wasn't saucy enough. Let's get more sauce.
I breathed wrong.
You breathed wrong? For Austin leaving, I wanted it to be on a very awkward note where he made a big mistake. So for everything else, to Austin himself, it wasn't a mistake. It was who he really was, the conspiracy theory, who he was, Burger King, who he was, he didn't want to go to college. Even the fart, the drumming, all that was who he was. But with him doing the Catholics game instead of the Saints, and Jordan was actually the one that came up with the Catholics game instead of the Saints, because I wanted to do a sports reference, but can I have the script again?
It's like he's running,
Oh,
and it's
thank you.
started, and it's running with the air on full blast.
Oh, right.
I'm going to hand him a napkin.
Okay. yeah, just remember obviously to be eating and drinking. And then, you know, when you're looking at him like, this dude's weird. Looking at her like,
This dude's weird.
yeah. Looking at me like, really? Why'd you choose him?
Do so much better.
Yeah, yeah.
Not hearing an argument.
Okay. Alright, are you ready to start? Okay, it's already filming, but.
Yep.
I guess I'll kneel so you can turn it off something. Okay. Action. It really hit Austin at that point where he made a mistake. And I think that's when his character realizes, you know, I'm doing a horrible job as a first impression and everything, like. So that's when he goes to the bathroom. And in the beginning, when I thought of him going to the bathroom, I was doing it I was going to initially have him do something embarrassing in the bathroom as well. But I changed it to that because I was like, this is kind of like a different stopping point for Austin, for his character arc. And so I was like, this would be a great opportunity for him to come back and kind of change gears on how Kendra's parents feel about him, make him change the perspective a bit on him.
You like stare her down.
When I could show them.
Well, sorry.
I want to hit my China symbol so bad right now. I love that thing. It's like, it's like, sha. You ready? I'm on you, bud.
So I wanted to change that camera angle a little bit as well. And I chose to do one where it was like coming from his perspective. And you could see all three of us, of course. The one thing I was worried about with these shots, though, is because it was kind of later in the day, and you can tell by the lighting. Set dressing for the dinner, which is the most important thing. The little thing on the wall there, it says worry less, smile more, and that is actually there in real life. So this is my apartment that I chose to film.
You fall. You trip and you fall into the flame.
Everything goes all over the dad.
Oh, he's completely
Just
soaked
like-
everything.
Covered in spaghetti.
Hey, I forgot about this.
Imagine how many takes you're gonna do that of throwing spaghetti at you. Oh,
Right.
I hope it lasts all day, you know?
Oh, whoops, can we redo that? It's perfect. No, let's do this.
No. It wasn't saucy in that. Let's get more sauce.
I breathed wrong.
You breathed wrong?
Some kind of dilemma that we ran into actually is that the placemats that I ended up buying, there was only 3 of them. And so I was like, well, since they're used to just the 3 of them being there, I was like, what if, you know, Austin either doesn't have a placemat or he has like a different one where like, you know, oh, my mom had to go and find this placemat. They didn't really care if he had a different one as everybody else because right now he's the odd man out anyways. So it kind of went with not only plot but also just story of him being an outcast compared to the rest of the family in general. That was something that I thought about along the way. The reason why I chose spaghetti, I will not lie, is because I was doing a lot of things and I just wanted to make and cook something that was going to be pretty easy to cook and easy to keep it looking the exact same throughout the takes, which is why I told them not to eat a whole lot. They could eat a little bit, obviously, to make it look more realistic and stuff, but I didn't want them to eat everything because then by the end, you know, they would have had a full plate and then now they have nothing. And I did like the very end too when I did the end credit scene. I like everything about that. And part of the reason why I said, you know, it's the end of the first dinner date because who knows, there may be a sequel. And I initially wasn't supposed to play Kendra. When I wrote the character for Kendra, it was going to be for somebody else. And that person ended up not being able to do it, which I understand things like that happen. Ashley Young is Jordan's sister, and she ended up helping with the camera instead. So even though I still put up the shots and, you know, put them all in focus and did the cinematography portion of it, she was camera operator and she did all the camera movements if there were any, made sure everyone was in frame, stuff like that. You know, she paid attention to the camera and she did an amazing job, especially not knowing much about camera.
Happiness is all of us together. Ashley's in the.
Well, there you go.
god. I don't know.
I need a bear.
Bruh.
Alright.
Check will be in the mail.
Do you need your scripts?
So next time it's just gonna be
The
they're coming into the entry and all that
Entryway, yeah.
stuff.
I don't have no lines, I just hover.
Correct. Yeah, you just
And I got one line,
Yeah.
Ready?
Who's this strapping
No,
young
two.
Ready, ready?
fella?
Wherever you want the night
2
of.
lines.
Yeah, because
Hey,
you
good
say
job.
Mr. Doodle when
Right.
you shake his hand.
Good
That's
job.
Mr. Doodle
Nice
to
to
you.
do. Alright,
Yeah,
camera
take
girl.
this
Nice to meet you, Miss Doodle.
Oh my
Do it again.
gosh.
Mrs.
Yes, I
Doodle.
own cheese doodles, okay? Where did he go?
Okay.
Go get doodles?
Say doodle.
Doodle!
Woo!
That's a wrap, folks.
Dinner date.
My sound mixer was Richard Vrooman, and he's been in a lot of my productions as many different things. He's been a grip, he's been lighting, he's been sound, he's been production assistant. He basically just does so many different things for me. He is a production assistant in a nutshell. He says yes to whatever needs to be done, even if he has no idea how to do it. He will learn, and he's not even interested in film. But definitely a big thanks to all the cast and crew, and that is a wrap on Dinner Date.